Want to welcome you to a special video. Today we've got a good one for you, very unique. I'm going to start with a question. Do you have the right tools for the job? That's a difficult question to answer, but check out these projects we recently completed. We did some major renovations in our home. We recently moved and have been very busy. I know these are pretty big undertakings, but I have a simple solution. Make sure you have the right tools for the job and your life is going to be so much better. It's a lot like trying to perform surgery with a butter knife and some duct tape. It just doesn't work. It makes sense to you, but maybe a lot of people are not going to be happy with the result. Today, I'm going to show 6 affordable products that completely upgraded our home from the garage door to the movie room. And yes, I'll show you exactly how they work, how we use them in our family, and why they're total game changers. So stick around. By the end, you'll know exactly what to grab at Lowe's, whether you want to ship it or pick it up in the store. This video was made in partnership with Lowe, so huge shout out to them. If you're interested in picking up any of the products that you see in this video, check out the links in the description. I'll also put links right here on the screen for you, so you can click those anytime. And with all that said, let's go ahead and let the fun begin. Let's get started. All right, let's get started. Like I said, we just moved into this home and we've been very busy. Let me give you a quick tour of the projects that we've been working on and give you an idea of the problems we are trying to solve. Careful, don't put your feet on the carpet. Here's the first one. We just got carpet laid. That was a project in and of itself, getting the carpet all torn up and the tile removed, prepped and ready for new carpet through Lowe's, by the way, I'll add. And with such a project transforming the space, even the dog likes it. Hey, pup.
Okay, stop. We have new rules. We just got carpet. We're going to go through the garage door, not this door, okay?
So let's reroute the kids through the garage door.
Locked. We need a key.
I can't get in. Let me in. Yeah, just unlock it for me. Got it. Thank you.
And I also get locked out from time to time. So this lock right here has to change. We're going to be upgrading that. Once we're inside, we're going to be updating this light right here and getting that switched out with a brand new one. To access the light, you need a ladder. And I've currently got a very heavy ladder. It certainly has its place in my world of DIY. For example, I recently built a treehouse. Definitely needed that. But it was so heavy, I kind of found myself practicing my vertical jump a lot more than I needed to and standing on my tiptoes while painting, which definitely improved my vertical jump. Speaking of painting, look at all this brand new gorgeous drywall. We recently upgraded, literally built walls to make a new guest space in our home because it didn't have one. And that was a project in and of itself as well. And if you've ever painted new drywall, you know that new drywall needs to be primed before you paint it. Check it out. You can't just put paint right on top of drywall. We're also upgrading the movie room. This is what the before shot looked like, and we need to handle painting specifically to make sure no scuffs or colors show through the projector screen wall. And speaking of colors, we're also upgrading our nook. This is where our kids play. We're going to be switching out outlets and painting the walls. We got to prep them though first to make sure that ugly green does not come through. Another problem we're trying to solve is just this general idea of having straight holes that are not crooked for dowels, amongst other applications, and I found a tool that I think can really help with that. And the last problem we're trying to solve is generally cleanup. For all these little project messes that I make around the house, instead of having to get out my huge vacuum cleaner, is there something better? All right, so the moment you've been waiting for, this is product must-have number 1. A smart Wi-Fi deadbolt by Schlage. It's got built-in Wi-Fi, no hub required. You can control and monitor from anywhere, which is pretty awesome. It's got all-weather backlit push buttons as the keypad, fingerprint-resistant buttons, which is important. Battery-powered. In case Wi-Fi goes out, it will still work. You can control it by Bluetooth nearby. Here it is out of the package. And, of course, we got to get the old lock uninstalled first of all. Installation is pretty easy, pretty much just a screwdriver. A drill is preferable. You'll see that here in just a minute. But we've got the new deadbolt actually installed through the hole. You may have to drill out the holes a little bit more. This piece slides in like that, and then you secure the actual plates down to the side of the door. You may have to notch out a little bit depending on your door setup. But you take the other piece, plug it in like this. There's a little metal back plate that goes in first. Make sure that is installed in the correct orientation and slide the little cable through and secure that on there. There's 2 very long screws that accompany the kit. You'll use a drill or a screwdriver to put those in. Make sure it's straight on the outside before you secure everything down. And next we'll take the actual battery pack and get that prepared. Just slides out like that, and it takes 4 AA batteries. You just slide the little wiring through and connect that as well. It just kind of clips on, pretty simple. And then take this piece, put it over, secure that with the provided screws as well. And the battery pack, like I said, 4 brand new AA's. And this should last a very long time, months and months and months, unless you're using this thing literally every second of the day, but I don't think so. All right, press the button and then go to your app. You can get everything set up through the app. App has great reviews, which is something I always look for in a product. Sometimes you get like a 2-star app and that is no fun. Setup's really easy. It guides you through step by step and even gives you pictures, so anybody can do this. You connect it to Wi-Fi. Yes, you have to enter your information for Wi-Fi, and voila, it is connected. This is pretty cool because you can open your app up and open and close the lock as you need it. And literally a minute or 2 later, you are successfully paired and good to go. You have a variety of features once you're inside the app. I'm not going to go over all of them now, but you can assign codes. You can auto lock, which is a really handy feature. Did you forget to lock that at 9 o'clock at night? Extremely practical feature. Let it finish doing its thing, and then you're ready to go. Of course, you need to install that other plate on the door. Make sure there's no friction when you close it. And setup is super simple. Very impressed by the quality of this lock as well. We've owned previous locks and not so much. Of course, a matching handle always helps, and let's test it out. That works well. I just pressed the lock button. I don't have to hold it down, which is pretty handy. And of course, let's use my test code to get in. Yeah, that's cool. Now let's turn on over to the kids to see how they like it.
You guys want to try it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're coming home from school. Whoa.
Absolutely love this keypad. This is so awesome, and you can snag it down below in the description, like I said. Number 2, once we're inside, let's get rid of this ugly LED light. This is must-have product number 2. Check it out. This is an Allen & Roth light fixture. It's a semi-flush mount, just under 13-inch drop from the ceiling. Super low wattage, energy efficient. It uses E12 bulbs. We'll get those installed at the end. It's a modern, high-end look, I think. It instantly upgrades the space. This is the first impression that people get when they come into the home, and I think it's transformative. Let's get the ladder out. We'll get the old light down and the new one installed. It magically arrived to my front porch in a box from Lowe's, and I unwrapped it. Here it is, so you can get a sense for what those parts are. You obviously have to shut off the electricity before you do this, and if you're not comfortable, hire a qualified electrician. Of course, safety first, always. This is how you set it up. Parts are pretty simple and self-explanatory in terms of instructions, and you just get everything secured. You do need a screwdriver or a drill. Be careful not to over tighten anything and strip things out. This is what it should look like. Next, you feed the wires through here. There's a washer and a nut, and you take that off, slide things through, and then put the washer and the nut back on, and voila, you've got the cords through the long stem. You put up the base for the bulbs next, and make sure everything's nice and tight. Give you a little angled tool here for you, and we'll put this up just like this. They come with these little clamps instead of the twisties, which is kind of cool. We get these wires hooked up. Again, if you're not comfortable with wiring, you got to be really careful. But for my particular installation, white to white, black to black, and ground to ground. Look at that. Once it's installed, power back on. We've got the new E12 bulbs in there. You can switch those out if you don't like the pointy tips. But look at that. I think it, like I said, transforms the space. You can pick up that light in the description by clicking that link. Let's talk about product must-have number 3, a new ladder by Little Giant. This thing is amazing. It's got a 10-foot reach, 300-pound load rating, and it's 15% lighter than normal traditional fiberglass ladders, which is super beneficial. This ladder I chose to do curbside. It was available in the local store, and no one wants to ship a ladder. But check this out. One-handed operation in terms of carrying it upstairs. Super practical. It's got the reach for pretty much any interior project. Field replaceable feet, super sturdy as well. I think they look cool. Pretty high visibility color. You'll notice they're really bright green. That's awesome. Looks super sharp in my opinion. It's got a built-in tray for your tools and your little supplies, the electric stuff. There's a little place to put it, which I think is fantastic, and a place like an actual tray down below that's all metal, where you can put paint or other large items. So that's really, really handy and kind of an underestimated feature. I didn't think I'd love it and use it so much, but I did, especially when doing our movie room. It provided the access easily to get that screen installed. I needed to drill various times, and I could just pop my drill on there and let it hang over without falling. So super sturdy. Even the wife used it for painting and her projects in the nook here and found that it was super lightweight and versatile. So we're definitely keeping this. We love this ladder. You can get your own ladder like this in the description. Let's talk about must-have product number 4. This is ProBlock Quick-Dry Primer. This is pretty cool stuff. It works on interior and exterior applications. Super great for drywall, plaster, wood, masonry, that kind of stuff. And it, like it says in its name or implies in its name, it blocks most common stains and hides previous colors. The best part is that it is quick drying. So let's get a can opened for you. You can see what it looks like in terms of consistency and color. It applies well to patched drywall. When I fished my wires through for my new movie theater, I had to take apart some of the drywall and then repatch that up and prime it. Turned out pretty well overall. Here's the movie theater room, the screen going up. Can see what I mean. We needed a good primer to make sure that no stains were coming through and those colors were all uniform, and that did the trick. The screen turned out beautifully. The kids love it, and mission successful. Let's go back up to the nook. We've got this old bright green paint that just had to be covered up. Instead of just putting paint right on top of it, which you could obviously do, we opted to prime it all first to help mask all of those blemishes, but also the actual green from coming through. How's that roller working?
It's good. I like it.
You missed a spot.
Spot
You missed another
or
spot.
this one.
And this primer is the real deal. It was really fun to work with. And as it said, it quick dried, I swear. You could paint some and then turn around, and a couple minutes later, it seemed like it was dry already. So we'll get out the ladder here and finish up the priming job so you can get an idea of how it turned out. We've got one layer on of primer, and that, like it said, primed the surface really well for the paint to adhere to. And so that was what obviously we did next. One coat paint is what we decided to go with, and that was pretty awesome. So with the paint finished, let's see what the kids think. All right, here's the reveal. Turn on the light. 3, 2, 1.
Wow,
What do you guys think?
that's so cool.
Transformative. This is what your mom and dad do all day. You can snag this primer in the description below. Let's talk about must-have product number 5. This is a Milescraft DrillMate portable drill press or drill guide. This thing is kind of magical. It turns your drill into a portable drill press, helping you to prevent crooked holes when you drill something. This thing's very lightweight. It's got adjustable drilling angles, 45 to 90 degrees in 15-degree intervals. And it's got V-grooves. We'll take a closer look if you're drilling something round. This is pretty cool. So here it is out of the box. We're gonna get it assembled and actually test it out for you to make sure that it is a quality product. The instructions guide you through step-by-step how to assemble it. It's just a matter of sliding things on and locking things down with the provided screws. The base itself is pretty heavy duty, which is what you wanna see in a drill press. You don't want it falling and slipping. And of course, it has to be light enough to be portable like it claims. Lock everything down, and this is what it looks like all assembled. And the idea, of course, if it's got a little handle, that's optional if you do want. You'll see that here in a second. But the idea is that you put your drill on there. It's got little rubber feet, and like I said before, the V-grooves and angled drilling. So let's test some of that out. Here's where you actually put your drill on the top. It's an aluminum head, which I think is lightweight and adequately strong. And the idea is that it slides up and down like that. So what I'm looking for is nice, smooth sliding action. You don't want it to obviously stop or catch. You may have to put a little lubricant on there. And of course, let's test this out too. This is the angled drilling. You unscrew it and then move it and then lock it back into place. Let's bring it over here to the wall, imagining that I have a drill bit in there. How do I like that? I think it's pretty cool. It provides quite a bit of stability. I don't feel like it's going to tip over on me or slide out. So let's get a drill bit in there and take a 2x4 piece of treated lumber and just do a traditional drill straight up and down. I did find the handle useful to secure this as you're going up and down. And that basically, again, guarantees a very straight hole. I cannot tell you how many times I've eyeballed it and just kind of winged it and the hole is not straight enough. If you have round stock, let's take this little piece of pipe here. This is a baluster for the tree house that I have left over that I built. And if you want to puncture or drill through metal, it's got these little V-grooves, which is a really cool feature. I like that. Let's get some tile drilled through if you happen to be drilling through tile. This is nice on a vertical application. It penetrates the tile really well. You have to hold it in place, of course, but overall a highly recommended product, and you can click that link in the description if you want to pick one of those up for yourself. Let's talk about product must-have number 6. This is the last one. We've created such a mess with all of those projects that I just mentioned. This is the horsepower Duck Cordless Handheld Vacuum. This thing is awesome. It is cordless, as I just said, rechargeable, compact, but super powerful. Think of it like a garage vacuum, but bite size. It includes attachments and a storage bag. It's great for DIY cleanup, kitchen, pets, and car use. No bulky garage vac needed, and even kids love it. I mean, who doesn't love a duck? It's so cute. Let's check it out of the bag. These are all the attachments it comes with, and we got to get it charged up, of course, first, and we're gonna put it to the test to see how well we like it. Let's bring my little one down because this is a great excuse for kids to start just doing chores, mine in particular. They somehow have this ability to avoid household work, so hey, here's this cute little duck vacuum. Intriguing, right? So here it is. We're cleaning out the pantry and it works pretty well. It's got lots of suction, surprisingly. I dig this thing.
There's some crumbs up here
for general household use. Now we're gonna test it out too to see, can it hold up to my standard going around the house doing lots of DIY projects? Is it like having a little garage vac? Do I like it? Can it hold up to my standard? Now you'll notice the sound, it's slightly higher in terms of sound than I would like it to be, honestly, but it has definitely the suction power for crumbs and whatnot. Let's step it up a notch. Let's bring it to a concrete job that I recently did. I put a little bit of concrete here and we've got some leftover chunks, a little heavier, and yeah, it picks them up. In terms of disposal or emptying it out, you just twist it like that. And there's a little filter here you pop out and you delicately just brush that stuff off and dump the beak, if you will, and put everything back together again. It's pretty simple. Don't puncture the filter, of course, and snap it, lock it back into place. All right, let's go up to the nook. I'm replacing all the outlets. Of course, power is off. Hire an electrician if you're not comfortable. And if you've switched out outlets and covers, sometimes there's insulation and dirt and insects and things that kind of fall out. So it just left behind this little mess on the floor. So let's get this thing out and see how well it does. Oh my gosh, it's totally working. This is so much better than lifting the huge bulky garage vacuum cleaner. Of course, that's probably more powerful, but I don't need so much power. I value versatility and portability when I'm doing these little projects around the house. Works great in the garage too for little things. Like I said, it's battery powered, so you don't have to plug it in, run the extension cord, and wheel it around. And it stores really nicely. It's got a little bag, which is cool, and you can hang that up and move about your day. Overall recommended, and you can pick one of these up in the description just by clicking that link. All right, let's close this video out. All 6 of these products came from Lowe's. Every one of them helped my projects and my house, my life a little bit easier. If you want to upgrade your own space, you can head on over to lowes.com and grab those exact products. You can again find those links in the description if you're interested. You can choose shipping to your door, buy online, or pick it up curbside at the store. The right tools really do change everything, in my opinion. We'll stop the video there. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more cool DIY projects and videos like this. Thanks so much.